And then I'm like, get drunk and punch a tree. Wow. Hey!
Wow.
I could not think of anything. That was the first thing that pumped in my mind.
You know the worst part about it is like this is like the third or fourth podcast I've been on, and that was probably still the best one you've ever done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm lying.
Speaking of podcasts, hello and welcome to Downright Fierce Gaming. My name is Josh Sensio. With me is
the honorable and the best guy in the entire world, King of Hugs, Jacob Alexander III. What up?
All right, and
Christopher Donald Stanton. What's up, jabronis?
Downy. You have a catchphrase now.
I do.
I like it.
What's up, jabronis? I feel like somebody's taken that before though.
No, he's the first.
I'm the first one to do it.
You're using this word a lot, and I gotta say, I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Fantastic. So we are a video game podcast. This is actually the first time that you both have been co-hosts.
Unfortunately.
That's right.
So I've also been waiting until we got everybody in on Sunday at 8:30, well 8 o'clock, to make this announcement. We are officially, and I actually probably should have told you guys this.
Oops.
We are officially now going to.
Sorry, that's totally my fault. I was trying to pull up the stream.
Okay.
Sorry. Right as you were saying officially.
Yeah, officially.
Bow.
Never gonna stop messing up every podcast.
Perfect.
We're officially going to have. This is gonna be our slot. This is gonna be when you can watch the live episodes. It's gonna be every Sunday at 8:30. And we'll see how that works. And if it doesn't work, then we'll change it.
Yeah.
Who cares, right?
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna care.
Nope.
All right. So first, there's another new thing.
Oh.
Usually, not usually, every episode, we always start with news, and it now has a title. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to Fierce News! Yeah! Fire! There was explosions.
Dude, I loved everything about that.
There were explosions of guitars.
I'm an easy guy to please, and that was freaking awesome.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud. I made that today in like 10 minutes, no joke.
Don't tell them that. No, tell them that the production value is like
Michael
there.
Bay.
I spent all of our Patreon
monies yes.
on that. Yeah.
Yep. You're welcome, America.
So let's go over the news. Let's start with Steam Summer Sale. The Steam Summer that thing is upon us. It's gonna run from June 22nd till July 5th. It's gonna take all the extra change that you have in your cars and your monies. It's gonna take all of that. There are fantastic deals every year. Right now we have a couple of good deals to mention. GTA 5, if you haven't bought that yet, which I'm sure if you were going to, you probably would have at this point.
Twice.
Or you're a moron, or you've been asleep for 2 years.
It's been on the top MPD, right? MPC
I feel like that's
reports.
the case. Yeah,
I don't know.
MSP something. Yeah,
it's been on the top sales for like ever since it came out.
which is insane to me, man.
It's crazy that the game's 5 years old and it's on sale for $30.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are still buying it for the first time, which is absolutely ridiculous.
So that's for $30, and then Nier Automata. I never know how to say that.
Automata?
No, I think you got it's Automata. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
$42.
the super Japanese nerd, so I got it.
$42, which is the answer to everything in life in the universe.
I heard it's a great game.
Mafia 3, $15. I mentioned that game a while ago. For $15, that is 100% worth it. If you haven't played Mafia 3, buy it for $15, 100% worth it. I enjoyed it, and I wouldn't want to pay more than that, but it was a fun game.
But you did.
Another game that if you've never played, now is the time to buy it. South Park Stick of Truth,
100%.
$750.
Right.
It's
now,
funny.
my thought process there, though, with South Park Stick of Truth is that, if I recall correctly, if you pre-order the Fractured But Whole, you get Stick of Truth for free.
That is true.
So you could also hold out for that.
Yeah.
If not, no
I mean,
deal.
yeah, just buy it in some form.
We're just here to tell you what to do.
Exactly, like Gone Home. Actually, I wish that was Go Home, because then I could be like, I guess that would be a good segue. It's not. Gone Home, $5. Another great game if you've never played that.
It's awesome. It's so like. You have to give it a minute, because you think it's one game and then it's not. And I recognize that sounds really silly, but just it's $5.
It's also the scariest non-horror game ever.
100%. It's so good, though.
And especially with the makers making Tacoma. That's coming out sometime eventually. Now is the time to check out Gone Home.
Yeah, Steve Gaynor, hurry up.
Additionally, Shadow of Mordor, one of my favorite games, $4.
It's so good, dude.
It's so good. It's Batman in Lord of the Rings time.
Yeah,
and you get
Arkham
to stab
Asylum.
people.
Yeah, you're 100%
the same
correct.
game mechanics, really.
Yeah.
And then finally, Far Cry 2 for $4. Now, that may not seem like a great, whatever. That was the only game I bought out of this Steam sale so far.
Oh, really?
I love that game.
It's a really
I'm not
good one.
ashamed of it. I love Far Cry 2.
I redboxed it when it came out, and I pretty much just set everything on fire, and that's all I did.
But was it worth it?
I mean, I set things on fire for about an hour.
I mean, the fire mechanics, that's
Far
what
Cry Arson.
Far Cry Arson. Got
gee. All right.
Gee?
I don't know. Oh, gee, Willikers. Let's move on to... I guess. Let's move on to Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. Let's roll that same clip that we play every time we talk about this game. It might eventually come to PS4, which kind of sucks for Microsoft, because I was saying when I saw this announcement for this game, I was saying that if it was coming to Xbox One, I might buy an Xbox One just to play this game. And now you're telling me that it might eventually come to PS4? I'm going to hold out. I'm going to wait. I don't need to buy an Xbox right now. So the reason why we think it might come to PS4 is because the Daily Express published an article claiming that the game is going to be an Xbox exclusive, which the developer Bluehole Studios, which fantastic name, Bluehole Studios issued a statement to Game Informer that denies that. They said no. They said, we're excited to announce that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox One. We're always looking at various platforms to potentially introduce our game, but have nothing further to announce at this time. So it sounds like they have, some kind of exclusivity deal, and they're not allowed to talk about it. Microsoft was really looking for, first-party exclusive titles, and even if they know that this is eventually going to go to other platforms, they don't want people to know that, especially when they're trying to push out this new console. I think that, they're covering their ass. They want to be like, oh, no, it's kind of an exclusive, but it is and it isn't. And we would love to go to PlayStation if they'll have us.
Do you think that it's because everyone got really bat crazy about Anthem, and then they looked it up and realized it wasn't exclusive? Because that's exactly what happened with me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my god,
yeah,
like that game looks incredible, but I don't know if I'm going to buy Xbox One for. Oh wait, I don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly. I mean, that's why they kept doing that whole thing throughout the conference, like exclusive.
Right. Yeah.
They're fighting for this, and they had any kind of announcement that this is going to come at a later time vilifies. If that's a word. Vilifies, right?
Yeah, vilifies is a great word.
Vilifies Microsoft. And it's like, okay, so you're doing the Tomb Raider thing again.
Right.
You're holding on to this game until people don't care about it. But I mean,
which is fine. Like, timed exclusives are strategically smart.
Yeah.
And Tomb Raider sold incredibly well. So great, that worked out. But I don't think it's gonna work this way for this game.
No, I don't know. I mean, this game, I'm really excited to play it. I don't want to buy it on PC because I've watched players do that, and they're so quick with their clicks, and I need to sit down and think about something. So if I have it on a console, then I'll be able to maybe take a little bit longer because it takes a while to move the little cursor and stuff. I don't know.
Whatever floats your boat, Josh.
Lots of things float my boat. You know what also floats my boat? The Uncharted game.
Let's
talk about that. We might be getting more. Actually, I'm gonna make an editorial note. We're gonna get more Uncharted. I'm saying that. I'm calling it. We're gonna get more. So Uncharted 4 is definitely 100% Nathan Drake's last game. They're laying him to rest. He's done. He might appear in the other games, but he's done.
He'll probably be in the DLC of some sort.
So in an interview with Eurogamer, Sean Eskag, I think that's his name, said, to say the Uncharted world is done, I doubt that highly. I wouldn't say it's the end. This thieving world is huge. There are so many characters. Even before we settled on Lost Legacy's story, we were exploring Sullivan, we were exploring Cutter, and pairing each other up, thinking what would be right and what would have conflict grown something. Okay, this is the worst sentence I've ever written.
Yeah, I was about to tell you that.
What would have conflict grown something new, something fresh? I guess that's a sentence.
Is he trying to grow a plant?
I think so. And Chloe was the one that kept jumping out. So it sounds like with this, now this is not going to be the new Uncharted game is not going to be it's not going to be DLC. It's going to be a standalone expansion.
Right.
It's going to be a standalone expansion, and what I think they're doing is I think they're testing out the waters to see, okay, how many people are going to buy this if Nathan Drake isn't at the front? And it's way cheaper to make a standalone expansion than it is to make a brand new game. So let's push this out.
Because you already have the engine built and ready to go. Okay.
We'll push this out. We'll see how well it sells, and then we'll know how to budget the next game.
Yeah, because I think that game's going to sell like gangbusters. I think that just the way that they kind of launched Uncharted 4, and they did it so smart, and because they knew like it's the same way with like Horizon. Like they both knew that like this is special, and people are gonna buy this regardless of what we do, unless we completely screw up everything. And I think when the trailer got hit last year's E3, and everyone knew it was an Uncharted DLC immediately before like the Chloe reveal, which was awesome.
We gotta be careful with that.
I didn't though. I didn't.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
I was gonna say we gotta be careful. We can't say it's DLC because
I still say it's DLC.
it's not. It's a standalone expansion.
It's
gonna have a
downloadable
retail
content
release. It's gonna have a.
It's gonna have a disc. It's gonna have a retail release.
Okay.
And it's probably gonna be $60.
No
No way. No way, dude. Are you crazy? That's crazy.
40.
Okay.
20
So
or 40. One of
so they're marketing wise, they're not saying it's DLC. It's in a continuation of a similar story, just on like it's not a parallel universe. It's just over here. It's DLC.
Okay, would
Sorry.
you call Dead Island Riptide DLC?
Well, that game sucked, so it doesn't
No,
matter.
but I mean, would you say that's DLC?
In the context of what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, okay, well, I mean, I guess you're wrong on both things then.
Nope.
Chris, how do you
I
feel
mean,
about
to
this?
me, if it's a 7 or 8 hour minimum story, single player game, I don't know if it's gonna have a multiplayer attached. I doubt it, unless it's Uncharted 4's multiplayer. But
It might.
I'd say if at minimum, if it's like a 6-7 hour campaign, I think it's a standalone story.
But if that's the case, then the 3 episodes of the Final Fantasy 15 DLC, episode Prompto, for example,
Well, that's
are all-
DLC because you have to have the original game in order to
Do you?
get that. Yeah,
Why?
I think
because
you do.
you just have to.
And plus, Final Fantasy, you can't release like a 2-hour DLC for a game that's 5,000 hours long.
That's also true.
I mean, I think that it's going to sell like crazy, whether it's considered DLC or not.
Yeah.
I think the Uncharted series is alive and well. I mean, Naughty Dog put out a game with characters no one had ever heard of called The Last of Us that did fairly well.
That's true.
No way, really?
Yeah. I'm going to buy it, even if 9 out of 10 people, instead of the 10 out of 10 that would have bought Uncharted 5, buy this. It's still in the top 5 highest selling PlayStation exclusives ever.
So you're saying that this game is going to be?
I think it's going to. I think that. I think it's going to get. It's Naughty Dog. It's going to be fantastic.
Sure.
It's going to get great reviews. I mean, I'm not saying I can't predict it's going to be in the top 5 ever, but I mean, Uncharted 4 is number 1 by a wide margin of PlayStation exclusives by like 4 million copies.
Yeah.
So it's like if 75% of those people that would have bought the next Uncharted buy this, it's number 2.
Right.
Mathematically.
And they're happy with that,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's going to be awesome. But what I was saying earlier, I had no clue it was an Uncharted game until the Chloe.
Really?
I had no idea.
As soon as I saw the engine, I was like, pfft.
I didn't pick up on. Maybe I just forgotten how good the engine is. It's just
You
the
forgot
produce-
you were posting about that like every day. You're like, look how good this game looks.
It just looks so good.
I wasn't even when that game came out. I wasn't even focused on how good it looked because I mean, yeah, it was fantastic, but I was focused on like the gameplay. Like when you're running around and you're watching your character stumble, and and then when he gets into cover, he slams up against the cover and jumping up and doing all these
They're the
things.
best.
Like, that was that.
And
was
I
what
could be
sold
wrong.
to
It
me.
might have been PSX when that trailer came out. Now that I think about it, it was one of the two. It doesn't
were you
really
saying?
I think it was
matter.
E3. I think it was E3 last
You
year.
think so?
I think so.
I think it was PSX.
I think it was
Was it?
PSX.
Okay.
Now, because I think it was the finale of
PSX,
PSX.
Yeah, because we learned about this game not that long ago. I want to say it was
Okay.
within a year. So yeah, that would be that.
Right.
All right, let's move on to Sega. Sega. I made myself laugh without saying anything. I was going to do a
Sega!
or that. Yeah, Sega. So they've begun the Sega Forever Collection. What this is, it's free-to-play, ad-supported Sega games with offline play that you can play mobilely. So you can download this on the iOS and Android market. They have cloud saves, controller support, and leaderboards. Once downloaded, the games can be unlocked and ads removed for $2. The first games are going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, Phantasy Star 2,
Which is crazy. Phantasy Star 2? Are you serious?
Comic Zone, Kid Chameleon, Altered Beast, and then that's it. The collection's going to add more games in 2 weeks. Now, I downloaded it, and it was fantastic. It was good.
Did you unlock it, or how are the ads?
Ads aren't bad at all. I mean, it's typical mobile game ads. It's going to play that big full screen Game of War or whatever,
But is it like if you're playing Sonic, is it like Green Hill Zone Act 1 and then you beat that and then it's like commercial and then Green Hill Zone Act 2?
I didn't get that far into it.
Nice.
I had a lot of problems setting up my controllers, so because that's another thing too.
Are you using like a Bluetooth controller or something like that?
Yeah, you're gonna need to play.
okay. Right,
I played a little bit
it's
of it
garbage.
with the touchscreen. You gotta
Can't do it.
Gotta do the controller.
Yeah,
You gotta-
because I have a an emulator on my phone, and I played Sonic 2, and it's not fun.
Well, it's because of Sonic.
Wow.
Oh no, you guys know how I feel about Sonic.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes, as you
Mind
mentioned
your
earlier.
tongue, sir.
That Sonic sucks. I'll sit in the silence.
That is
bathe in the silence. I will revel in this
we could have
glory.
a podcast about that alone.
I'm
about
down.
how wrong you are. It's going to be titled "This is how wrong Josh is about Sonic."
We'll do that.
And then it's going to be the intro is going to be the drowning.
We'll do that. We'll do one for Mario Party. We'll do different things like that where we just like get drunk and argue with
And
each
at
other.
the end, we could like totally throw a bunch of eggs at you, so you could get Eggman.
Egged man. Okay, fine. I actually kind of like that one. That's the first high five we've done in a while.
That was good.
That's good.
It was precious.
Speaking of Sega, they are releasing a new premium Sega Genesis flashback console this September. So now it's funny because I heard about this. I'm like, oh wow, they're doing the Nintendo Classic thing. That's freaking awesome. So what it is, they've had this for years.
Right.
This is the premium Sega Genesis flashback. It's going to have 85 games built in as opposed to 80. Oh, cool. It's going to have two 2.4 gigahertz wireless controllers. So the other one had wireless controllers, but this one has infrared. No, sorry, the other way around. The other one had infrared wireless. This one has 2.4 gigahertz wireless controllers, which is just better. It's going to have scanline filtering. Do you guys know what that means?
Yes.
What is that?
It basically makes it look like you're playing it on an old scanline TV.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
The NES Classic has that.
That might be the smartest thing Chris has ever said.
I like it.
Because
Additionally,
Chris is dumb, you guys.
So dumb. You are so dumb. For real.
For real.
Additionally, they're going to have 720p HDMI output. The other one had like S-video garbage.
So those scan lines can look
Fire.
straight fire and keep it 100.
Yeah, fidget spinners.
I missed
That's cool, right?
Right.
I know how
That's
to
what the
talk,
cool
like-
kids.
They are actually kind of neat. Okay, whatever. Moving on.
So the biggest thing, I think this is really cool. They're going to have save, pause, rewind feature for every game. So the
awesome.
Nintendo Disney collection or the Disney afternoon collection or whatever with the Chippendales and all that,
Right.
That had that feature, and everybody was talking about how amazing that that feature was. And I'm super excited to have that because some of these Sega games are like ridiculously hard. And I mean, just the same.
I'm looking at you, Lion King.
Lion King was not hard.
He's wrong.
So my here's oh boy, here we go.
The can't wait to be king stage. Are you serious? What? Because we can even throw Aladdin in that bad boy.
When did you get good at video games? What age?
I've been good at video games since birth.
Apparently not.
I've been good at video games since my entire life.
And
I beat Mike Tyson's Punch Out solo by myself.
And
Maybe Josh was just more prepared.
Oh God. Oh, I'll give it to you
For
for
the
that
death
one.
of
I'll
the
give
king.
you that one. That was
death
So
of the
my
king.
my two things with this, I'm all in. The only things, two caveats. One, I forgot the second one. But the first
Well, that's
one,
great.
The number one is I don't know. Oh, actually, I had to do the second one. The second one's price. I don't know if they've announced the price yet.
No,
Okay.
not yet.
So my biggest hang-up is like parental filters, because like on the NES Classic, obviously you don't need a parental filter,
Right.
but on this and in the similar ones that they have in the marketplace already, there's like Mortal Kombat and all that stuff on there.
sure, right.
So like I would love to get one of these, and the boys
And
would
Mortal
be.
Kombat is one of the games, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, because I think it's Mortal Kombat's 1 through 3 or whatever are on the one that's out now.
Which one was it that had the blood filter? That
Super
made it look like
Nintendo.
sweat. Okay.
Super Nintendo had no blood in the first one.
Okay.
But it wasn't even a filter; it just wasn't in there at all.
No,
There
they
was
had
a
sweat.
there was
They had
it was
sweat.
there, right. So hence there was no blood at all. So anyway, so I was right.
They're squirting something.
When I said
Bunch
there's
of
no blood at
squirters.
all, and you go, no, they had sweat. Like you don't sit there and go, I'm sweating, and then
Double
go to the
hand
hospital
I'm bleeding!
and get
Yeah,
a sweat
okay.
transfusion. Anyway,
Sweat transfusion.
What does that mean?
but no, but my thing
you
is
get
like
that?
I would totally get it.
Dehydration?
I would totally get it for the boys, because they love Sonic, and you just highly offended them. But they love Sonic, and they would have so much fun playing like the classics, like Vector Man and all that stuff.
Dude,
But-
Vector Man is an incredible game.
But like,
Vector Man is
I wouldn't be able to just like let them play, and then like next thing I know, it's get over here, and you
You're
know,
like, oh crap.
like no one shouts "get over here" in my house except me. You know what I mean?
Right. Come downstairs.
The other thing is they're going to add a cartridge port, which you can kind of see there if you're watching the video, and it's going to support almost all of the original Sega Genesis and Mega Drive cartridges. So I don't know what that means. I think it's just like to cover their own butts. It's like, I can say ass, cover their own ass. That there might be some weird. They might not be able to play some weird Japanese, cartridge or whatever, but.
Or if it's more so, if you have like your old Sega games and you're like, oh, this game isn't on there pre-installed, I want to be able to plug it in and play it.
Right.
I mean, I think that's more geared to what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's I mean, like, definitely, like, if it's got Vector Man and like Sonic 2 and whatever, I'm
boy.
like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, the question becomes if we have Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
I will actually give you that Sonic and Knuckles was the best of the Sonic games.
Oh yeah, you got to leave your own house.
I'll give you
absolute trash. At your opinion, Sonic CD is the best. Is the best.
Oh,
is the jam. All right, back to it. Back to it.
No, give me some.
Oh no! You do not deserve this.
I'm agreeing with you. Just a little bit. All
right, we'll pound it.
We're gonna pound it. We're gonna pound out.
You can't like retroactively just think that's funny all of a sudden just because it's a retro console.
Right.
What?
You're being one of those guys right now. See, this is what you didn't know is that now that me and Chris are on the same podcast, we're coming after you, man.
Okay, well, I'm ready to receive you.
Even though I'm really dumb.
He's so dumb.
I'm ready to receive both of you. All right.
Double hand jumps.
Dude, watch it off.
Do I have to bleep that?
I don't know. Anyway,
I don't even know if...
Continue.
Do I bleep that? I don't know.
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he, America?
I'm not going to. We're going to leave that one in there. So moving on, every week for the past like 4 weeks, we've been mentioning IO Interactive. They were going through things with Square. They got fired from Square. We're wondering what's going to happen with Hitman. Blah blah blah. Well, hopefully this is going to be the last thing we mention from them in a while. They so first of all, Square said that they were going to package Hitman. The episodic releases into one release, and there's this weird thing where you can't even play one episode. You have to buy the rest and do all these weird things. Now, after that whole deal, IO Interactive now owns Hitman. Huge. And I think we've mentioned that before. But they've announced that they are not only going to keep it episodic, you can now play the first section of the game for free. That's pretty cool.
Which is what they should be doing.
Absolutely. Right. How do you feel about this, Jacob?
I feel really great about it. I'm happy that from a creative standpoint, that the folks that know Hitman better than anyone on the planet, still have it from a creative output standpoint, and that just means that we're gonna get more Hitman games.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they can't make anything else.
Right, which is fine.
What are you gonna make?
Right.
Kane and Lynch, nobody cares about that anymore.
I mean, Jeff Kurtzman can't get fired again.
Yeah.
He's already been fired. He's already started somebody
Jeopardy.
else.
That doesn't work that way.
For like the two people that get that reference, high five. Jeff Kurtzman is the homie though.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm amped, man. Because when they were like, all right, we're separating, and I was like, oh, we're probably not gonna get a Hitman game ever again.
Yeah.
If that's the case. And then they're like, no, like we're good to go. And I was like, all right, cool. Let's see where we go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have a release window for Detroit Become Human. Just quick news. Game director David Cage confirmed it's coming out next year. That's it. I mean, I'm pretty excited to play that. It's cool.
Which everyone was like, when they saw it at E3, was like, nope, we're not going to see that game for a while.
Yeah.
And it's no, 2018, we were like,
2
okay.
years since they announced it. And
That game looks unbelievable, dude.
It looks really cool.
God.
So now, a long time ago, I want to say
Galaxy
it
far, far away.
was maybe 5 or 6 episodes ago, I mentioned this game, Rap Rabbit. It was really quick. I just mentioned, I'm like, oh yeah, the makers of Power Up, they're doing a Kickstarter for Rap Rabbit, which was a thing. So it turns out we have news with that now. It was, like I said, the creators of Power Up the Rapper. They launched a Kickstarter to make this game, and they had a $1.1 million goal that they failed to meet. They only raised $204,000.
So close. So close.
Almost there. I hate when that happens. Now, we have a 1-minute clip that I'm going to play right now with full sound, all that stuff. So, before I do, there's important things you guys need to know. The scene that I'm about to play is based on a prototype scenario. So, it is not gameplay. The lyrics and rapping are done by one of the game developers who is not a rapper, which you will be able to tell because the raps are super lame. The music is a work in progress, and the songs will be longer with multiple turns. Again, this is a concept video, so this is not what the game is actually going to look like unfortunately for you guys, I didn't prep you on this, so you're just gonna have to trust me when we critique this.
feel like
Hey, it's a rap video. I can't wait.
Let's
Dude,
roll the clip.
I'm so excited.
Let's roll the clip.
We like rabbits. Tasty, tasties.
You don't seem to belong here.
Before I forget it, you just a puny rabbit, a trespasser, bad habit. I'm living it up, my dream hanging. Oh wait, that's my 3-star bold appetite.
One, two. Yep.
You're all whack. You see my pretty face. For organics, my home is all the place. Living the dream, this ain't no race. Now take your hissing and get some mommy kissing. Yo, what's up?
Your whack rhymes don't scare me.
Not enough?
We like rabbits. Tasty, tasties.
All right. So that happened to you, and I apologize for that.
I'm insulted, upset, and angry. I feel like it was racist in some way. I'm not okay. I'm not okay with this.
So I actually did manage to play the audio for them, so they heard some of it. Now I get this is a concept video, and one of the important things was that the lyrics and rapping were done by one of the game developers who's not a rapper. I'm sure they would have done better with the actual release of the game. However, you couldn't find one starving artist rapper locally who would have done it for free. You couldn't find
They could have hired Christopher Donald Stanton.
They could have. The Chris Stanton.
The
Chris Stanton. It's a 1-minute video. You couldn't get somebody. I mean, you're asking for $1.1 million, and you release that garbage. I'm sure the game would have been better. And the visuals were fine. It's they didn't make the game, so they needed something to just show how the gameplay mechanics were, and they looked good. The mechanics looked fine. The fact that you could pick out certain words and then use that in your retaliation or whatever, that was awesome. But that was so stupid.
I want that minute of my life back.
I mean, crowdfunding for something like rap related, I think, is a tough sell. I think if they had tried, like, maybe out of the trunk of their car, something like that, they would have been able to sell it.
Check out my mixtape.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, you know what would have gotten, even though like I think this is already happening, you know what would have gotten $1 million? A Parappa the Rapper remake. Which I believe is already happening anyway.
No, I think it's
already happening. Yeah.
Wasn't it already released? Yeah, nobody cared. Nobody bought it.
But it would have gotten sold anyway. Like look at Shenmue 3. Like I
is true.
Of all people, like put money into that, and I've been waiting 3 years for that game, and then I still get emails like, "Yo, here's an update." I'm still like, "Yay!"
By the way, we're not going to be at E3, so sorry.
Yeah, the email is like, "You remember that day?" That's like the only thing the email says.
You're right. And then it's like
an application.
Cherry blossoms, and I'm like, Shenmue 4!
It's got like a PDF of an application to a forklift
Right.
for a
It's just
dock
funny
job.
because that E3 reveal blew my mind.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely one of the greatest
because it
moments of my
was
life.
like timing wise, it was that and Final Fantasy VII back to back,
Right.
and it was just like murder me
Lost
right
it.
now.
Yep.
Yeah,
See ya.
yeah, all the caps, all the caps.
The caps.
All the caps.
Speaking of cap, let's recap E3.
Why am I here?
Come on, Chris.
It's all right, I'll allow it.
Dude, you are the pun king, and that was fantastic. I'm gonna pat myself
That's
on
all
the
right.
shoulder for that one. Recap.
It was more of a segue than it was.
It was
a pun.
yeah, it was
all right.
definitely. So E3's done, and the last couple of episodes we've been talking exclusively about all the games being released, and we kind of touched on each one, but I thought it'd be nice to actually just take our time, and since that's all the news we have, take our time and just kind of go over E3 and how we felt about it. So the first conference that we saw was the EA conference. How'd you guys feel about that one?
Meh.
Battlefront. That's it.
I mean,
I have like cliff notes on each conference, real quick, little jabs. Is Battlefront. I mean, that's really all you can say.
What about A Way Out, though? A Way Out, I mean, the forced co-op, the storytelling with that game looked fantastic.
I mean, it looks it looks neat. It doesn't look like anything I would be like.
Same.
I would be interested to play at all.
Right.
Oh.
That's
All
okay,
right.
though.
Well, what about the Microsoft conference? So we got the Xbox One X, which again, terrible, awful name. I hate that name. And the Xbox games backward compatibility, the OG Xbox. I mean, that's pretty exciting, right? I mean, if you own an Xbox One,
I think it's like 6 years too late.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Crackdown's cool, but I think I'll say you're too late.
That one has been underwhelming when people have played it. They said that the graphics are. I mean, especially this is an Xbox One X launch title
That they've been keeping under wraps for however long, and like everyone's known that it's been in development for however long, and it's just like. So by default it's going to be underwhelming anyway. Like it had to blow up. Blow out of the water.
Speaking of which, they promised destructible environments, and everybody that was playing it was saying like, okay, well,
that was cool. That was cool last gen though.
It's only gonna be in multiplayer. It sounds like.
Yeah, like that was great last gen and awesome last gen. No one gives a crap about it anymore. Destructive environments, not anymore.
Yeah.
That's dope. No, make it better. What?
No, it's cool,
Why wouldn't you want
but I don't think it's like a selling perk.
Right,
I mean,
they should just have it. It doesn't that doesn't sell a game anymore.
Well, I mean, but how many games have that?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Crackdown wasn't.
Let's go over the list. What games have that?
This is gonna take
Shadows of
forever.
Mordor.
I'll give you an example. Like 3 years or 4 years ago, whenever it was, when they showed the first ever Uncharted 4 gameplay to go back to Uncharted, that was the first time in the series history that it had destructible environments and destructible cover. 4 years ago, it was like, well, it wasn't like, oh my god, it was, well, it should. You know,
Mass Effect 3.
I mean, yeah.
Mass Effect 3 did not.
It did. It did have destructible cover. 100%.
Oh, hold on. If you're talking about destructible cover,
you brought it up.
I said environments.
You brought it up.
Environments.
That's an environment, is it not?
It's part of it.
All right.
But
I guess. Well, then GTA and, XCOM. Actually, XCOM had fantastic destructible
every Battlefield game.
Battlefield games. That was some dope.
Since Bad Company.
Yeah.
Right.
That was some really good.
Right.
The destructible environments.
But that's the point, right? Is it's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
Like they're playing catch up. Like I look at it like as great as Fallout 4 was. You put Fallout 4 next to Witcher 3, and it's like this came out near each other.
It's like touting.
Like, insane.
It'd be like touting having a Blu-ray player in the new Xbox.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, move on.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's gonna be great. It's still not a system seller for me.
It might not be great though. That's the
yeah, sure, maybe.
There wasn't anything. I mean, of course, like Forza 7. They're gonna show that off, and it looks great and whatever. But I mean, like, there wasn't an exclusive at all that did anything for me. The new system sounds. I mean,
what about Sea of Thieves though?
I was actually going
to Sea of Thieves. You even admitted that game looks super interesting.
I mean, I think it looks neat, but I wouldn't like. There's absolutely nothing. Like, if I owned an Xbox One X,
and I don't think it's an exclusive anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's Microsoft and PC.
Really?
I don't think it's cross-platform.
100%.
I don't think it is.
Really?
100%.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because it's rare, right?
Yeah,
I thought I saw it at the Ubisoft conference.
No, I think it's rare.
No, that was the Xbox Microsoft conference.
But even with that, like, if I owned an Xbox One X and Sea of Thieves comes out, I'm redboxing it, and I'm probably playing it for like 2 hours.
You're thinking of Skull and Bones.
Thank you. Yes,
that's what it is.
But
Sea of Thieves is completely different.
Okay.
With regards to, I mean, Anthem obviously is like the one that everybody's talking about. It's not an exclusive. Yeah. I will say, and we were talking about this before.
I can't believe they ended the conference on that, and it's not exclusive.
Well,
that's
right,
unbelievable.
So like to me. We were discussing this earlier that like if Anthem were an exclusive and it genuinely looked and played like that, like for real, that if that was like that's
big
what
deal.
The game is going to look like, I think that's a system seller.
100%.
I mean, the vertical slice, that is how the gameplay is, but it's kind of like with the Division where they did the same thing, and also Watch Dogs, the first Watch Dogs, they did a vertical slice. That's how the game's running. I mean, that's exactly how the game's running, but then they realized the scale and like, we can't make it run like that.
Which is why the Division got delayed forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Which should have been God, man. Like, I still love the Division, but what a misfire, dude! Unbelievable.
And I mean, it's kind of a fool me once thing too. I mean, everybody's super excited. Even like I listen to the IGN podcast. I read articles and stuff. Everyone's like, oh no, this game's playing amazing. It's going to be fantastic. You said the same thing about the Division. Right. You said the same thing about No Man's Sky. You said the same thing
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Like You've been fooled before. Yeah, like dude. He's gonna keep hitting you. Dude, just leave.
You know what Microsoft exclusive I'm super nervous about is Cuphead. I'm so nervous because like this went from like oh my god, this is a big deal to like it's in the middle of the conference. When like it was they've
shown it off so many times,
ago,
and
that's the thing.
Yeah,
people are tired of hearing about it.
Then release the game.
They are. There's a release date. It's coming out this year.
Then it should have come out already.
And it's going to be amazing. And here's one of the things that people are saying too. Like, no matter, because right now we know that it looks amazing, and that's how it's going to look when you play the game. Even if the gameplay is garbage, which actually, let's take that back. Even if the gameplay is mediocre, just like
it's going to be
whatever.
pleasing to look at.
The way it looks, people are going to walk in the room just like with that South Park game. They're going to walk in the room like, "Oh, what do you watch? Oh my God, you're playing!"
Yeah,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's how
fair.
it's going to be. And I think it's going to be no matter what, as long as it looks like that, which it should. I don't think
hope
there's
so.
a way to screw that up. I don't think there's a way.
Knock on the wood. There's always a way to screw it up.
How? I mean, the gameplay would have to be. It would have to have game crashing bugs. It would have to just be the worst, most unpleasant gameplay ever for people to go like.
Gameplay wise, no, I think you're right. I think that's the only way to screw it up because visually it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the way to screw it up.
Even if it's an hour
Which
long.
is possible.
Even if it's an hour long.
Oh, it's an hour long.
Can't do that.
If it's an hour long, as long as it's not full retail price, which I don't believe it is,
Yeah, you don't think so? Interesting. Okay.
it's a boss fighting game. Well, that's basically all it is, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But I also think that like if they play their cards right, people are gonna pay for full price for it. So
I don't think it's gonna be full price. I think I should have looked that up though before I keep saying that over and over again.
you have the internet.
Now, Assassin's Creed Origins, that was another game in the Microsoft conference. This is the first time I've been excited for an Assassin's Creed since 2.
I've never once in my life been excited about an Assassin's Creed game.
Until now.
Not even.
Not even still.
I didn't even watch the footage.
It's a different
I
game.
could care less.
It's like a completely different
I don't
game
care.
now.
It's for me. It's too little, too late.
Yeah.
I loved Black Flag. Loved
African American
Black
flag, yeah.
Wow. He's a white guy.
We have a politically correct show here.
Yes, okay. Which is funny because like if anything is African American, it's Assassin's Creed 3, because American Indians. So I think it's too little, too late. I don't care anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done with the whole franchise.
Did you see the gameplay footage?
I did.
They're
Didn't
adding
do anything
so many
for
things.
me.
It's not even going to play like the other Assassin's Creed game. This is basically a brand new game.
Yeah, that's what happened with Unity. That's what they said about Unity. That's what they said about Syndicate. That's what it.
But I mean, you could see it. The evidence is there.
How so?
Don't care.
I mean, the stealth mechanics, the flying with the little eagle thing,
Right.
the way the boss battles fight, they fight like it's freaking Dark Souls. They do.
I don't really care about Dark Souls either.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's the best example.
Ah, jeez.
Oh, jeez,
Jeez.
Yeah, dude. Like they had to wow me.
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed games to me are the video game version of the Resident Evil movies. They've made so many of them all the time.
Man, that's a really interesting.
I'm not going to start watching them now. They come out with one every 2 years, and they're probably trash. I have no interest in seeing.
And you know what's funny? They made that like the final Resident Evil movie, and they're gonna
make another one.
they're rebooting it. Like immediately
Unbelievable.
rebooting it. That's awesome. Now, last week nobody knew anything about Ori and the Will of the Wisps, or the sequel. Or
the Blind Forest is an incredible game that everyone should play.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes,
can you sell me on this game because I've never played the other one. Just like an elevator pitch.
God, I don't even know where to start with it. It's beautiful and sad, and yet amazing. Like, have you played Journey?
Yeah. Oh, I love Journey.
Think about like if you want to go on an emotional journey like that, it's a good bit longer than Journey is.
Because I mean, you could beat that in one sitting.
Right. Which in like that game is so special that I never want to play it again because like there's no way I'm gonna be able to get to that point. Ori is the same way. It's that good, and it's absolutely a must play game. 100%.
Hell yeah. All right. What about? Let's move on to Bethesda. So we got a bunch of VR stuff. How do you feel about the Doom VR?
Do not give a crap.
Because that's kind of what they're doing with that. I'm not a big fan. They're doing the whole like it's not the full game. Like
it looked
Fallout's
buggy as crap. The gameplay looked awful.
It's it sounds like more of an experience, not even like a full like thing. And they've been doing that with so many games. I don't know how anybody can
because
get
the only
for that.
people and like you can tie in Doom and Fallout in the same way. The only people that are going to do this are people that haven't played either. Why have I've spent over 100 hours of Fallout 4. Why the hell would I buy it again for VR? Who cares? Doom is the same way.
Well, I mean,
Doom
that's
is
going to be on
incredible.
the Vive, and the Vive would be amazing with Fallout 4.
But
imagine you're walking around a room and you're actually picking up like items.
Okay,
and
but
stuff.
what makes that different than the game I've already played? Like, why would I go back to that?
Have you ever been in VR?
Yes,
Okay.
but like,
I mean, that's the only thing.
Give me Fallout 5 in VR and then talk to me. I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna have to wait like 8 years.
Yeah, of course. It's kind of like buying a 3D TV and buying the movies in 3D that you've already seen 100 times.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
it's like,
sense.
I bet it looks cool, but it's not worth it.
It's so weird because you guys are saying that's a bad thing, and I love doing that. Like, I would do that. If I had a 3D TV, I would rebuy movies and watch them. Like, I'm going to buy for, like, the third time Skyrim.
Right, but you're saying if you already have...
Yeah, Skyrim's another one.
Like, we don't have the VR. So what I'm saying is, like, that's not enough to make us go, like, oh, I need to play Fallout 4 in VR and buy VR. And
oh, I got you.
You know what I mean?
Because you're retreading on territory that you've already walked. Those should have been... Okay, yeah, Doom, Fallout, and Skyrim, right? Those should have been 3 new games, in my view. Then I'm all in. But I've already beaten Doom. I've already beaten Fallout 4. I've beaten the hell out of Skyrim.
To me, it seems like something in like
Skyrim. That's not possible.
In like
you kill Arthur when you beat the game. That's how it works.
It seems like something.
Don't get me wrong. It was like 350,000 hours later. However,
it seems like something if in like 5 years, if the VR thing really takes off and everybody has one, that you like when the Steam summer sale comes around, you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna pick up Fallout 4 in VR because I haven't played it in 5 years and it's $12
playing it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
Now, what about The Evil Within 2? So we saw very, very little bit of gameplay in that video.
That trailer looked unbelievable.
I mean...
Wow. I was so wowed by that.
It's not very often that I will look at a concept trailer, like a concept cinematic trailer, and be like, oh, well, that makes me want to buy the game. In fact, a lot of times when people are like, oh, man, look at the trailer for this new game, I'm like, there's no gameplay. You're not seeing anything right now. Why are you getting excited? For a game like this, when they are doing these mind-twisting visuals, I mean, they're selling an idea of what the game is going to be, and if the game is going to be like that, with that kind of twisted, Silent Hill-esque type of gameplay,
right?
It's even just story. Forget gameplay. Story? Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely down.
Do you think that they knew, like, the following that they would have after Evil Within came out? Like, to the point where, like, they spent... which you have to assume was a lot of money to bring this trailer to fruition because they're like, all right, we got a game changer in this. Let's go ahead and just go full frontal, like,
I don't think this is gonna be a game changer.
You don't think so?
No,
based off of that trailer,
no,
I don't know, dude. Because I think that they think so. Here's the thing. I don't disagree with you, but I think based off of that trailer that they think so.
I mean, it's coming out Friday the 13th in October.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually just seeing, now that I think about it, seeing the cinematic trailer and almost no gameplay. I mean, there was some and it was quick, but the fact that there was limited gameplay kind of makes me worry. It's like, this game's coming out really soon and you guys don't really have anything to show off with gameplay.
Well, maybe they do. They just don't want to show everything all the time like everybody does.
Right.
No,
and
got you enough to wet your palate, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. And I think that because it's a horror game, like, they don't want to. They don't want to show you anything. I think that's what made, like, a game, like, because I don't like horror games at all. Like, Until Dawn is one of the best PS4 exclusives of all time, period.
Can't wait to talk about the other thing.
Oh, yeah. Which by the way, I didn't know it was an Until Dawn thing until way later. Like,
I didn't know until I did the research for the episode.
Blew my mind. Anyway, but I think Evil Within 2 is going to be interesting to see how that performs because based off of that trailer, they think it's going to perform really, really well. So that's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Creation Club?
No idea what it is.
So Creation Club is going to be for Skyrim and Fallout 4 PC and console, where modders can have a system to submit their mods. It goes to Bethesda and they walk them through, like, the development cycle, basically. The entire development cycle, and make it so that way these mods are implemented into the game in the best way possible, and then they charge for these mods, and the developers of the mods get a cut of that as well.
All you dorks have a good time doing that.
So
it's cool.
I mean,
they're cool. What they're doing is they're outsourcing content for their games.
No, basically. it's a neat idea. I mean, it's not even something I would do if somebody paid me to do it.
That's one of those situations where, like, that should have happened when Skyrim first came out. 100%. I think.
Yeah.
If they were gonna do it, they're doing it. When did Skyrim first come out? Like
5, 6 years ago.
Like, and don't get me wrong. I'm sure the mod community is insane, and like when they love a game, they love a game. I mean, like, the Thomas the Tank Engine mod might be one of the best mods in any game ever. If for those not aware, every dragon in Skyrim is Thomas the Tank Engine, and it's amazing. It's so funny.
It's pretty good.
It's so awesome. But I think it's too late. But People, but the thing is, at least for me, it's too late. But I know people are gonna like go crazy for it,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
All right, so let's move on to Ubisoft. They opened with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. We were making fun of it. Man, we were making fun of it, and it looks amazing.
What an interesting situation, because like initially I was like, man, it looks terrible, and then the initial gameplay was what, like when you're running around following the little Roomba thing, I was like, that looks terrible too. And then they got into XCOM gameplay. I was like, oh, okay, wasn't ready for that.
Yep,
that game might be pretty good. Will I buy it?
excited.
I do not know, because like as good as the little XCOM gameplay, like I can't like separate like the like I'm running after a room, but I'm not okay with this.
All right, now Chris, you're shaking your head. What? How do you?
I just did. It doesn't do anything. XCOM bored the crap out of me.
Look at you! Like,
yeah,
that was so adorable. PG yourself.
Yeah.
I
don't. I'm not interested. It's so slow, and you stand over there, and you get hide behind that, and then it's your turn to do. No. Just give me, turn it off.
Not an RTS fan, eh?
All right,
no,
that's fine, I guess.
No, I like no. I like RTS. I like I mean, I do, but that not in that way. Not in, like a game like XCOM would have been way cooler if it wasn't like turn based, and if it was like 4 players running and gunning and shooting people.
Right.
That's kind of
Now, how about Beyond Good and Evil 2? Now, we haven't seen gameplay, but behind closed doors, they're saying it is going to be incredible.
I almost started crying.
Yeah.
I knew it was Beyond Good and Evil 2
Was the sympathy
immediately.
crying because the developers are crying?
No, that was actually pretty cool though. I gotta give that dude a lot of credit for just being right in front of it and just like crying in front of thousands of people.
Hell yeah.
Good for him. That was an incredible trailer, and I cannot wait to play that game.
Was the original like a cult classic?
Yeah,
because I remember when it came out, no one cared.
Nobody cared.
And then like a couple years ago, it was like, or whatever it was, the HD release last year, a couple years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So and everybody
got some
freaked
traction
out.
from
So
there.
like I just remember the original being like wasn't it an Xbox game?
Yes.
PS2
No,
as well as
Xbox 360.
Was it?
I think it was.
No, I feel like it was.
I think it was.
That.
I think it was original Xbox exclusive.
I feel like it was earlier than that. Yeah.
But I think so.
Maybe. Not PS. It was on PlayStation, though.
I think it was
Pretty sure it's not on
original
PlayStation.
Xbox or Xbox One or the first one rather.
Yeah.
I think what made
So
I think that
X, OG.
Xbox number 1.
Plus
no numero uno.
Xbox Riker.
OG Xbox.
Let's just call it Xbox Riker. Number 1.
Xbox Riker, I can do with that. But I'm curious to see what they do. I think there was some gameplay that was released which looks really awesome, and it's still like that. Like my brain like broke. I was just like, what year is it? We got Beyond Good and Evil 2, Crash is coming out. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, and Crash, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So, moving on to Sony, I'm wondering why everybody seems so underwhelmed with Days Gone. Now, I know, Chris, you aren't too excited about Days Gone. What about you, Jacob?
The trailer and the gameplay last year looked amazing, and I think that they went a step back this year. I think is the problem.
How so?
Because when they were, if I recall correctly, the trailer last year, they were going through and like showing I forgot what the name of the zombies are called, but so bear with me here. But it looked menacing, very 28 Days Later, very scary, but very cool. And like, all right, I got to go up above and go around and then like lead them through here so that they go here so I can go here. And I don't feel like they did that at all this year at all. And so,
Well, I mean, they did the whole gate crashing thing and then like
Right.
using the Horde as a weapon.
I think it looks like a company went, let's make Uncharted meets Last of Us and not do it nearly as well. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't.
I feel like
I could see that.
that's tough, right? Because like we don't know yet. I can see how you feel that way. I still think that it's going to be an interesting game to watch, and I think I will probably pick it up pretty early on.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to. Let's see what else. Spider-Man. Let's talk about a little bit about Spider-Man.
Oh my god!
Spider-Man and God of War totally stole any games from any conference to me.
Spider-Man. I mean, it's so the Batman games sold, very, very well, and they're very, beloved and stuff. Getting remakes and stuff. They're kind of doing the same thing that Shadow of Mordor did, and there's taking elements out of that game that made it great, and that's fine. I mean, that's how we're getting new Dark Souls-y games,
right,
like Neo and stuff. So they're adapting that stuff, and honestly, every superhero game should just be like the Batman games, even Superman.
And that's what's funny about it, right? Is like, but if every superhero game is like the Batman games, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, it's like the Batman."
It's like
games.
this, but Batman.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's cool about Spider-Man is I think that they can do that.
He's a different enough character,
Right.
I mean,
that is still like man, I've watched that gameplay trailer probably 30 times. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
did either of you guys?
By the way,
watching it-
Spidey's my favorite like hero ever. Like I got a
Did
tattoo.
either of you two watching it live? And I almost feel like this was the idea. Is like they're like, all right, this is the last trailer of our conference, and then like it opens up to the shot of New York, and then did anybody kind of else feel like a collective like, oh, it's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Like for the first
Yeah,
like
yeah,
5
yeah.
seconds
I know, a little bit.
until they started playing it, and then it immediately was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Like
I wasn't disappointed, but I'm like,
wasn't
oh,
either.
okay, so it's Spider-Man. Cool.
Because I was like, yo, more Spider-Man. Let's go. Yeah, I was all.
I thought it was going to be
ready.
a cinematic thing, and the fact that they went right into gameplay. I mean, like that was, and the fact that it was all gameplay.
yeah.
It's
That was a
unbelievable to me,
power
right?
Move, man.
Yeah,
That
man.
was baller.
And then they went behind closed doors and redid that gameplay and was like, no, like, look, it's gameplay. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna get hit this time. Blam. Oh, okay. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
It was a. I think you nailed it. I think it was a power move. I 100% agree with that. It's unbelievable to me that game is an exclusive.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's Sony.
Yeah.
I mean,
that money.
Now, real quick, because actually, I guess we are running a little bit out of time. The Inpatient. It turned out it was a prequel to Until Dawn, going to be a PSVR game. And now, I don't know if you know about this. They said that when you like speak in the game, the characters will turn around and acknowledge you.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know how with the Until Dawn games, like, all right, hold your controller still.
Right.
I bet you they're gonna have
Don't
things
move.
like don't say anything, and things are gonna keep popping out at you, and if you scream,
Oh my god,
That's cool.
oh, it's gonna
That
be
is so
amazing.
cool. Until Dawn surprised. It's one of those games that surprised the hell out of everybody. Because that game had no reason to be that good. It's got an incredible narrative.
And Hayden Panettiere.
fantastic
Who would
characters.
care about that?
Yeah, especially except for when you kill her. Like it's pretty bad.
I enjoy that.
she
part.
doesn't heal.
She does not. Not this time. Not this time. Oh, she goes
You
down.
don't have
pretty
to save
bad.
the cheerleader in this one.
Not this one. Yep.
In fact, most cheerleaders die in this one. Actually, all my people survived.
It's not easy, but you can do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. Also, Skyrim in VR. Like I said, I'm gonna rebuy Skyrim in VR. It's gonna be amazing.
Pass.
I'm gonna do it.
It got me over a bad Bear Cup. 350 hours. I'm over it.
Yeah. Let's go on to Nintendo. Metroid Prime 4. Now, I know, you're
Teared
freaking
the
out.
hell up, yo. Oh,
Dude,
man.
you saw nothing.
So what?
I don't care.
It doesn't matter, dude.
I do not care.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I don't even like. I'm not. Okay, let me back up.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Metroid fan, but them announcing Metroid Prime 4 is, I mean, arguably maybe the biggest news of the as far as announcement. of the conference.
150%.
Yeah.
150%.
You're just a
I agree.
Nintendo hater.
No,
you don't
I'm
get
not.
it.
Okay, so listen, I
go ahead.
love the Pokemon games. The fact that they said that they're going to have a full-fledged RPG Pokemon game for the Switch eventually.
I don't care when
I
it
was
comes.
like,
I'm
oh,
so
awesome,
excited.
but I didn't get excited, even though I love the Pokemon games. I'm
Right.
playing Sun right now, and I freaking love it. I could not care less because they're not saying anything by that. It could be 3 or 4 years till we
And
see
it
that.
doesn't matter because it's going to sell like
Does it?
You
Does
know
it
what's
is
gonna
there-
happen.
Is there a launch date for Mario Odyssey yet?
Yeah, it's coming out like September,
October
November.
27th.
Yeah.
There it is.
So like that, more than any other thing I saw this conference, I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that I will be owning a Switch the day that Mario Odyssey comes out. That's the only.
That's something to get excited for because you can see the horizon or the light or the whatever it's coming.
But we don't. I don't need
You
to
don't
know
need to-
when Metro
you don't
Prime
need to
4 is
know
coming
when, what
out.
it looks like,
I
don't
have
know
to
that.
know that it's coming
That's
out.
actually
and that is
coming out.
all that matters to me because we didn't know that it was coming out at
Yeah.
all. And literally, like, watch all the reaction videos because it was the same reaction that I had. I was like, "Space, shut up, no,
Yeah.
no, 4, lost
Yeah.
it, absolutely lost it."
All right,
and
so
that's
did
what
you have
matters.
that reaction when they announced Infinity Wars for Avengers? Not the game, like the movies.
Well, we knew that those were coming out.
But that's the thing. So you know that's coming out, but it's going to be so many years till we see that.
Doesn't matter.
When we found
Does
out
not
about
matter
that.
because
So you got excited about that?
But Infinity Wars, no, I knew that was happening like years
knew it
before
was
they
happening,
officially
right? That's what I'm
announced
saying.
it.
So-
but we didn't know Metroid Prime 4 was coming
Yeah,
out
that's
until
the point.
that moment.
So like if I
That's
see a
two different
trailer, if I
things.
see an actual trailer for Infinity Wars or some mention of that, like an actual thing, release window or something like that, I'll freak out. I'll be like, yeah, okay, it's about to happen. But I didn't freak out when I found out that I
just
found
a
out the
hater.
other day that I didn't know they were doing Dark Phoenix.
But you
I didn't
also-
know they were doing the Phoenix.
Right,
I found that out. I'm like,
but you've
oh,
also
cool.
had like 13 Marvel films already to build up.
yeah, it's
towards
not.
it.
It's not.
Like,
It's
that's the-
very apples to oranges.
When you're talking about Nintendo, you're talking about that per capita, their IPs and attach ratio to their systems are more than any other console exclusive.
100%.
So when a Nintendo, who releases like 2 games a year, and it's usually, oh, here comes the next Smash Brothers, here comes the next Mario, here comes the next Mario Kart. When Nintendo goes, we're going to reach in our bag of tricks and pull out something we haven't pulled out in 10 years.
Right.
And it's going to be something you've all clamored for. Like, even like, oh, there's probably going to be another Zelda. But even that, like, Metroid was like 10 years of people waiting.
We've been waiting for this thing forever.
But still, like when they announced Zelda, they announced it with a release window.
Doesn't matter.
Not initially.
Yeah, it's still
no,
a
'cause
window.
I'll never forget it.
Didn't they?
Eiji Aonuma snapped, and then you saw the grass, and everyone was freaking out.
Yeah.
They never said what wind that was coming out.
I
No,
Never.
no.
No.
Not once.
Not even a little.
It was- and it
because
was-
we
and-
saw he snapped, and that was it.
And it was
that's
on the,
all that people
and it was on the Wii U.
But
Yeah.
they showed
Exclusive.
gameplay. They showed
No,
something.
no.
the first
they
ever-
literally just showed
They showed
the grass
it was,
and the
they
mountain.
showed the grass,
and
and they showed Link riding on the horse, and then a real quick shot of him with the bow and arrow. There was no gameplay at all.
Right.
Well, I mean, at least that though.
So what?
There was something.
We know.
But,
it's
but,
just
but the argument is that that's all we needed.
Right, that's
And
all
this
you
is
need.
all we needed.
Yeah, to know that it's coming
happening.
out.
That's all I care. That's all I care about.
I mean, like, like as an SSX, or that might be a bad example, but like,
damn,
like,
that's a great game right there.
But like Shenmue 3, like they didn't have to show any of the development footage. They had to technically to get the Kickstarter going.
Right.
But like if they had just said Sega Shenmue 3, I'm having the same
and
exact
that's
reaction.
the thing is,
like
they didn't even need to do that. As soon as the people saw the cherry blossoms, it was over.
Like
it was
like
over.
you see the reaction videos.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
done. So
You
Shout
know
out to
what?
game trailers.
I realize now though, if they said, and this is never gonna happen, but if they all of a sudden you see like orange flames, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, Half-Life 3. I would freak out. I
The
would-
internet
so
would-
you know,
the
I think
internet
it's
would
just a
just go
personal
down.
preference thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a personal preference because I don't care about Metroid. I have no attachment.
it wouldn't even need
at
to
all
be a
Metroid.
Half-Life. It would just be a 3 with the circle and or the triangle
H,
logo
like,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Game over.
And then finally, well, we talked about Super Mario Odyssey. So yeah, that's we're pretty.
What do you
excited
guys
about
think
that.
about ARMS? Now that it's out in the real life.
It's getting average stuffs.
Oh, is it
and,
actually out?
It's out.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was out.
You
Yeah.
know,
It doesn't
it's-
really do much for me. Do you have it?
Yeah. It's super fun. It's really fun. 'Cause
wanna
I played
try
it
it.
when I was in Boston for PAX East. I played it and I was just like, man, this is a lot better than because I figured it's just gonna be like another. Like there's 7 games on the Switch that aren't Zelda.
Right.
Whatever. It's a great game. I
Yeah.
highly recommend
That's
it.
cool.
All right, we're gonna have to save viewer questions for. Actually, unless you guys in the comments or anything have viewer
Anything going on
questions
in there?
for us, you know, just questions to ask our faces. I don't know.
Anything interesting in the Chiz app?
Yeah, you know, you can ask us other than that, but if we get nothing, we'll move on to video game 20 questions. Before we do, though, what are we playing? I am playing, actually, I was playing Neo, and I got to the point that I think that half the players of, like, Bloodborne and Dark Souls and any of those kinds of games get to, where it's just like, okay, I'm no longer having fun, I'm getting really pissed off, and I'm done.
Yep.
So today, I got to that point, and I'm like, okay, I'm done, put it in the package, Gamefly, it's gone. I've also been playing Pokemon Sun, and it is amazing, and I love it.
It's fun.
I love it. I love
It's
those
Pokemon.
games.
I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. For me, I'm still playing Persona 5. And
Tristan
now
beat it.
Yeah?
Tristan beat it, yeah.
Fortunately, it's still absolutely incredible. I'm now 80 hours into this game, and it's still so good. I'll probably beat it at about the 110 mark, I believe.
Nice. I think that's where, Tristan said it was over 100.
Yeah, and then every once in a while I look at my Switch and I'm like, soon Zelda. Because like
baby, I'll get
I'm
to
still
you.
like 50 hours into Zelda, and I'm not even close to done with anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
What about you, Chris?
Aside from the NES Classic, I've played the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite demo like 4 times.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's awesome.
Really?
I was gonna say, like, I mean, it
I was
sounds
ready
like
for
you
you to-
liked it.
I was ready for you to crap
It's
on it.
gorgeous. I mean, I do see the hang-ups with people because it is dumbed down. It's
Absolutely, yeah.
it's less. It's only 2 characters at a time, and also like
Is that 3? Seriously?
Yeah, they down
What?
did 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and
Well,
also
I mean,
like
but I mean, that's not the full game though. So
no, they've
maybe-
said it's definitely
Oh, they did?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Wow, that's disappointing.
and the super moves are very easy to execute, and so it's more like kid friendly. It's less like arcade
good.
tournament-y,
That's not good.
but it's gorgeous.
Nice.
It's
All right,
gorgeous.
word.
So we do have one question. It is from Mark. He wants to
Hi,
know
Mark.
why is pineapple the worst pizza topping? Because it's actually not a topping. It's like saying why is ice cream the worst pizza topping? It's because it doesn't belong on pizza. Moving
Wrong.
on. Moving on. Moving on.
Hawaii
That's it.
pizza.
Nope.
A plus.
No.
A plus.
All right, let's move on to video game 20 questions. I picked a game. It was a random game. Just thought of it, popped in my head, and and then I looked up information about it. And these two have to guess it using yes or no questions.
Oh boy.
I
So
can
great
either,
at this.
I can either say yes, no, maybe sometimes, or be careful with that one, which is a new thing that I've been saying.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That's been a new development. I got 3 or 4 be careful with that ones last episode. It's been a while since you've been on.
It's been a hot minute.
All right, so start.
Was the game released after January 1st, 2000?
No.
So it's pre-2000.
Pre 2000. Okay.
Was it an exclusive?
Yes.
All right.
Was it part of the
Uh-oh.
PlayStation, Saturn? What is it? N64,
I was gonna say-
PlayStation, Saturn generation?
I guess it'd be more like Dreamcast, I think.
No, so I think that's why we still need to iron that out. I think Dreamcast is part of the PS2, Xbox.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair.
So
right.
I'm gonna let you guys know just for future stuff. I know nothing about the Saturn, so there's
So never gonna be a
there's never
Saturn
gonna be a
game.
Saturn game. There's never gonna be a Saturn
Well,
game. I know stuff about the
so it's-
Dreamcast.
it's
Go play
not-
Panzer Dragoon Order.
it's not Knights. So let's
Yeah, right, also play
Knights.
Knights.
There you go.
Knights is amazing.
Knights
All right.
is fantastic.
God, it's so good. I want a sequel to that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, is it part of the PlayStation, N64? What was it? That was just those 2 generation.
Sure.
yeah. It was. Yes. The answer is yes.
And it is an exclusive.
It is an exclusive.
Okay.
All right.
Doing really well.
So it's N64, PlayStation.
Let's see. Okay.
Now, if you guys in chat have a question that you want to, suggest that they ask, you could just type that in chat, and if it's a good one, I will
will
pluck
shut
one.
you down.
Should we just burn a question and go? Was it a PlayStation exclusive?
Well, hold on, you're doing really well.
Yeah, like I'm actually super proud of you.
Yeah, but I would rather it's literally 50-50 at this point.
Yeah.
So
if
to
we're
me,
if we're right,
Well,
right?
I mean,
so
but I'm not going to coach.
you should coach.
Not gonna
Coaching is good.
I mean, I think that it's much easier to go. Well, if we're talking about exclusives, it's much easier to narrow it down and go. These are the exclusives I'm dealing with.
Also, be careful because last week the game was an arcade game, and they focused so much on the
Okay.
console
That-
that
oh, you
they
didn't get it?
completely missed the arcade part of it.
I see.
But also consider that PC is an option as well,
But who cares about PC?
and handheld. And I mean, there's
Who cares about PC before the year 2000, though? I mean, am I right or am I right? Yo, my biceps look really great right now. Yeah. Anyway,
What do you?
let's see.
Do
Okay.
you play as a human?
you know what's funny? I forgot the. No, you are not a human.
Not a human. Okay. That's interesting. Oh my god. I'm so bad at this game.
I think we got to narrow down what it's on. That's just me.
Last week, if they spent more time narrowing down what it was on, they
would've probably
wouldn't
got
have
it.
dug
Would've nailed
themselves
it
into
down.
such a big hole. So.
Well, do you want to use system or genre first?
I mean, to me, there are so many more genres than there are systems.
It depends because there's a lot of genres that didn't really come out on the 64, that were a lot because there
Go
wasn't
for
very
genre
much
then.
all right. Is it an RPG?
No,
Okay.
that's 5.
You don't play as a human. It's not an RPG. So it's
Do you think it's a safe assumption it's a sci-fi game because you don't play as?
or it could be like action or like a platformer.
Ooh.
Is it a platformer?
No.
Damn. Makes me want to play Tomba right now.
I really want to.
Do it.
Go for it.
Is it on the play? Is it a PlayStation exclusive?
No.
So it's either N64, arcade, PC. handheld. I doubt it's any one of those. To me, it's lends itself to being more console based.
You have 6 questions or 5 questions to beat the record.
Was this the first of a series?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. So that also implies it's a series.
No. Sorry, no. The answer is
Because that's what I was going to ask. I was like, that also implies that it is in a series.
no.
So because we don't do sequels, and because
And you got my no, right? Like I'm saying no.
It's not the first.
not the first in a series.
so because
Ooh.
we don't do sequels, that would mean that this is the only one that came out.
And Brandon did the same thing last week. Just because I said no doesn't mean the opposite.
Process of elimination.
I don't get that. If we can't do sequels,
No, you were asking if this is the first in a series.
So rolling back though,
right?
can we?
And you
it's
say
not a
no.
sequel.
You say no. It's not.
It's not
Meaning
the first in a series.
right, but we don't do sequels. So if it's not the first in a series and it's not a sequel, then it's got to be the only one.
I've said too much.
I don't understand the question. I don't.
I've said too much.
Okay, I don't.
Is it a series?
That's what
Is that your question?
Yes. Then it is a series.
it is in a series,
Yes.
but it's not the first.
Okay, so here's the thing.
But it's not
Just to cover my ass.
Yeah. Which is why I asked that question.
It is sort of the first in a series. It is sort of the first in a series, and you know what? I'll just say it is not the first title, though.
Okay.
An example would
But it's
be
not a sequel.
An example would be if you asked that Metal Gear Solid was the first in a series, I would say yes to the Metal Gear Solid series, but there was Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 on like Nintendo and stuff. So that's why it's difficult for me to answer that, because are we talking series as far as the Metal Gear Solid series, or are we talking the Metal Gear Solid franchise, which has, the top-down action games? So in that context, it's exactly like Metal Gear Solid then. To answer your question, it's in the exact, it is exactly that sort of situation.
Okay, so let's roll back. We're in the season
Tristan
4.
has don't look at it. has a pretty good question in chat. If you guys want to take it, it's not the best. It's
Tristan's
not the best
really
question.
good at this, so I'll take it.
If you want to wait for a possibly better one,
No, I'm good. Tristan,
use
fire.
did you have to use it after 10 though?
Oh,
I would be
okay.
careful because you're at 9 now, and again,
So then we have one
3,
more.
and then you can.
Is it a Nintendo 64 exclusive?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now we're cooking with fire. All right.
Now we're cooking with fire. Okay.
Not a
so
human. N64 exclusive.
Oh shit!
Not an
This
RPG.
is where- this
Not a
is-
platformer.
Cursed.
This is where I get to.
Oh, he cussed.
just
Isn't he
heard.
This is where I get to
adorable, you guys?
This is where I get to go to the buffet and just like,
Is it Golden Corral?
yeah, Golden Corral.
Okay,
Okay.
so not a platformer, not an RPG, N64 exclusive.
So Conker's a platformer.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna break the record. I wish Brian was watching right now.
Hold on. Okay, so
Come on, you 2 questions to break the record.
Banjo-Kazooie's obviously a platformer.
yes.
Donkey Kong, obviously,
100%.
platformer. Perfect Dark, you play as human or is she an android?
Oh my God, I don't remember.
We did Perfect Dark before.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
That was actually the one that
I should have broke the
tied the
record.
record.
I should have.
Tied it.
Yeah, was that me and Tristan?
Yeah. I mean, so okay.
and Brian was the one that gave you the
The winning clue.
So I'm assuming, is this because of the article released this past week that we're saying Mario is not a human?
Whoa, what?
What?
Yeah, the
I've not. This is news to me.
yeah the
Legitimately.
Breaking news.
It was the
Wait,
Super
hold
Mario.
on, hold on. What now?
That's awesome.
It was an
Mario's-
article on Kotaku about Mario being in the real world, in our real world or whatever, and like somebody from Nintendo was like, well, Mario's not a human, so that's not our real world.
Oh my
There's
God, that's
some version of that.
when he goes
I might
to
be
like New
wrong.
Donk City, there's people walking around that are like normal height and normal all this stuff.
Which
That's
means
mind-blowing.
maybe he's
He's
not
an
a human.
alien.
Yeah,
not a
something.
human.
So
I guess he's an alien because he's not of our world, right? Man, we're getting into it.
Oh man.
something about something about Mario. I don't remember what it was.
All right, well we gotta do this.
Yeah. Okay. God.
Hold on, I gotta think of the exclusive. Okay, so like Cruisin' USA
Oh man.
or Cruising the World, or whichever one it was on there.
So, oh my God.
You don't play as a car.
Chris.
Right, yeah, right.
In Jet Force Gemini, you're a human, correct?
I think so. That doesn't seem like a game he would pick.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. It just doesn't.
I love Jet Force.
It's a great game.
What was it? Was it Blast Corps?
Wow, that's a blast from the past, literally.
Killer Instinct.
Ah!
Killer Instinct. You can play as a human.
Right.
I'm just trying to think of all the exclusives.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Killer Instinct was not an exclusive.
No, definitely not.
On release, that came out in arcade.
Yeah. N64 exclusive.
Actually, you're incorrect about that. Killer Instinct Gold was on N64, and that was an exclusive.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. That was not in the
I
arcade.
thought that matters right
so
now.
Boom.
Bam. Oh my God. Can't think of anything. Let's see.
N64 exclusive. You don't play as a human.
Not a platformer.
It's not a
Not
platformer.
RPG. Don't play as a human.
I can't think of any other of their first-person shooters or anything that you're not a human.
Do you play as a dinosaur?
Is that your question?
Yes.
Nope.
Were you thinking the side-scrolling Yoshi game?
Yes.
All right, one question to beat the record.
Yeah, I went for it.
All comes down to this.
Dun, dun, dun.
One question. For $1 million.
I mean, that can
And
just
bouncing
podcast
checks.
full time. Bouncing checks. Or bounce checks, rather. I see.
You know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Wait a second.
Uh-oh. About 75% of the time, when somebody does that, they've got something.
Do you play as a... Wait a minute, you said it is it an RPG?
It did.
And I said is it a platformer?
Yes.
Both are no.
Correct.
So Ocarina of Time would be out.
Ooh, good question.
You know what I mean? Because you're not a human, you're a Hylian.
Yeah, you're a Hylian.
Because I would consider it both action
Almost
platformer.
So also, do you have any idea how difficult that would be to bleep out? All of a sudden, just like half the episode.
Show you can.
Meanwhile, while people are talking, like,
Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh my God, like,
I mean,
there's no way he would pick that though.
I think
That'd
he
be
would,
crazy.
but I think that negates. I think if we had said, "Is it a platformer or is it RPG?" I think he would have been like, "Be careful."
So then the question is what's the genre of Zelda? Is
But
it an
no, I
action
don't think so.
adventure
I think
game?
if it was Ocarina of Time, he would have stopped us on both of those. He would have been like, "It's not really an RPG, but it's not really a platformer."
Maybe.
I think he would have stopped us.
Maybe.
My opinion. If he wouldn't have, and that's the question, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. I might throw
'Cause
this.
I can see
might throw
that
this.
not being the first in a series. That whole thing.
Oh, that's an interesting.
You know
point.
what I mean? That's why I went there.
But if you feel that way, then the question would be, do you play a Hylian?
That's really.
I know. I don't want to ask it like that though.
I mean, like, we could ask, like, do you use a sword or something? I mean,
that's not good enough.
I really can't.
Because I don't think that gets us anywhere closer to nailing it down like that. Is the princess in another castle? No.
Well, I feel like we're missing like a.
Oh no, it's right in front of me. I feel like it.
Blatant N64 exclusive.
Oh my God. Okay. Because it's an exclusive. So, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say? I saw you.
Me?
You. Yeah,
no,
you.
I'm tickled
You
over
did the
this.
thing.
I'm tickled. I was leaning back because my back hurts. But I'm
You did say
tickled
your
over
back
all
hurt.
of this.
Oh man.
By the way, I think we're going to start moving on to 1.5 hour episodes.
That's fine.
that might start happening.
I mean,
We'll see.
Ocarina of Time is the only thing I'm leaning towards because of everything else except for the genre questions, and those could be debated.
Right. Sure.
That's the only. I mean,
Which is about like Zelda specifically, right?
Oh man.
what?
Watch the people
don't look
Majora's
at-
Mask.
Did we take
Don't look at
Kristen's
chat.
Did we take Kristen's
Don't look at
question?
chat. Don't look at chat.
We got one more to look at.
All right, so we gotta sit down. We gotta figure out something here. We gotta figure out something. Tristan, one of our co-hosts,
Did you just nail it? He
figured
nailed
out
it,
the
right?
game.
Yeah, he nailed it.
He figured
I
out
knew
the
he did.
game with a question. He absolutely figured it out.
Okay.
So, how do we handle this? Because
Is it a record?
Because bias?
Because you would beat the record. You only need one question, and then with his question, you're immediately gonna know what it is.
So why don't we take
so
his
then-
question, get
right.
it, and say that we all got the record?
Yeah, all three of us got the record. 100%.
That's what I think.
Okay. So you want to use his question?
100%.
Can you do a barrel roll?
Star Fox 64! Well played!
Fox 64.
Well played!
I knew there was one in my head.
I know it too.
What
I
am
can't
I
believe I
missing?
didn't think about Star Fox.
That's
Unbelievable.
The record is broken, and you know,
Yeah.
Andy's a co-host. Andy's a co-host. So I
Right.
feel like
So
that's
it still
absolutely fair.
counts.
Yeah, that's good.
So developed by Nintendo, came out June 30th, 1997. It was an exclusive. It is a 3D scrolling shooter game focused on aircraft combat, reboot of
So
the
good.
original. So when
It's
you say
such a good
series,
No, you're
game.
right.
when you say
Yeah,
series,
that
so like
counts.
there was
So,
the
yeah.
Star Fox series, but then it's a reboot, so they completely redid the series. So
No,
that's
you're
why it
right.
was difficult.
Right,
with
right,
that. Alternate pass.
And
you
everything
collect
after
power-ups,
that
go through rings to
sucked.
charge. 4-player multiplayer. Tristan is just a
was good.
genius.
Great job,
and
Tristan.
the record has been broken.
Yeah, we did, Reddit!
That's it. Speaking of that's it for our little thing that we do every week. It's called Downright Fierce Gaming. We have new episodes every Monday on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, and Stitcher. Make sure you rate us 5 stars on that one. And you can search for us on YouTube and subscribe so we can have a URL. That would be amazing. We make every week we make a series of videos called DRF Talks to Strangers, where we go and talk
so
to
fun.
Omegle people. You didn't see the last one, did you?
I have not, but
You,
okay, so
seriously,
let me ask
all
you
of
this.
them. Well,
Did it-
real
go
quick.
ahead, go ahead.
Every single episode of that we've done. Sometimes, like I would say, last week was the worst one that we did, but it had some of the best moments.
Okay.
And that's the thing about every episode. It is either good or bad or whatever, but there are moments in each of these episodes that are just you gotta
Samurai
see 'em.
Cat.
They're hysterical. Samurai Cat.
Samurai Cat.
Perfect example. So you were gonna say?
yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, did it beat my episode because I
Yours
felt
is
like
good.
I was on fire.
It was
Yours was pretty
yours definitely all star. I mean that's my personal favorite. Let us know what your personal favorite is in the comments below. So yeah, you can do that. Facebook.com/Downright Fierce Gaming is where we live. Twitter @DRF Podcast. Even though I don't really, you're our only follower. It's me and you, and that's it. Nobody else follows.
Follow me on Twitter, EXP Reaper Jacob.
Yeah, follow him because honestly, unless we start getting followers on Twitter, I'm not gonna waste my time. Sorry. Twitch.tv/DRF Podcast. Brandon said he's going to be doing some streaming of a video game that I forgot. You can buy merchandise. You can buy shirts with our faces on it. Teespring.com/Downright Fierce Gaming. I'm actually going to start making. I've started a list of T-shirts I want to make. And they're all going to be just general stuff that you can wear without like the focus on the podcast, but it will have the little podcast.
I will admit, like me wanting to buy a shirt with my own face on it might be the most egotistical thing I've ever done. No,
it's great.
And-
If anybody could do it, it's you.
Yeah, I agree.
It's totally you.
Additionally, if you want to kick us a couple bucks, you can go to patreon.com/Downright Fierce. We can get some better chairs for these guys. It gets you all the exclusive content 1 week in advance before everybody else, so you can brag to all of your friends that you
Or too cool for school.
Too cool. Way too cool. Fidget spinners. It also gets you a thank you at the end of the episode. So we want to thank Mark Mayfield.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
And also Jeff Knight. Thank you, Jeff Knight.
Thank you, Jeff.
Happy
Thank you, Jeff.
belated
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I already told him.
Yeah, and I did too. We also want to
I
thank, we also want to thank Brian Altano for letting us use his music, even though he doesn't listen. Damon Hatfield for letting us use his music, even though he doesn't listen.
Damn.
And MC Lars for letting us use his music. He might listen. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, we won't call him out yet.
Yeah, we're gonna have that interview in October. It's gonna be awesome with him and the guy that you like,
Greg
Mega Ran?
Mega Ran. That's it.
Mega Ran is the man.
Yeah,
he's so cool.
You should come to Ocala for that interview.
Oh, cool.
We also
Going
want to
to
thank.
Ocala?
Yeah,
Okay.
in October. We also want to thank our executive producers Brian Kaminsky and Andrew Kirkendall.
Face kicker.
Face kicker. And that's it, guys. That's it. We're all done. Make sure
You're welcome, America.
you go find a treasure map to your dad's butt.
What?